All right, let's talk about the New England Patriots here for a little bit. Look, on this show, for anyone who's familiar with our channel, we always like to talk about what smart teams do, what smart moves are done by those teams. And the Patriots, for the better part of the last 20 plus years, have been arguably the smartest team in football. And we've got some new news out today highlighting exactly a really smart move the Patriots have done and completed that now sets them apart from potentially one of their key competitors. This was just a really great long-term decision by Belichick and company that I think Patriots fans will be really excited about.
Yeah, Nick, I think this story that you dug out just shows status quo for the Patriots as usual. They're always a couple steps ahead of people, especially in player evaluation development. They know exactly what they are doing. But before we get into that, Patriots fans, speaking of player evaluation and development, we've seen the training camps, we've seen preseasons, we've seen OTAs. Now, let us know today in the comment section below who has been your preseason MVP so far. It's probably one of the last times you're going to get to throw that out there before the regular season starts. It is just around the corner. So let us know in the comments below who is your preseason MVP for the Patriots this offseason. But Nick, let's get on into it. What have the Patriots done that is so smart?
So the answer to that question, I'm sure from a lot of Patriots fans, would be Mac Jones. He's revitalized himself so far with Bill O'Brien. But the news today involves a potential alternative team for Mac Jones. We're going to turn the clock back to 2021. For those of you who don't remember, the Jacksonville Jaguars with the first overall pick selected Trevor Lawrence, and New York Jets followed up with Zach Wilson. And the San Francisco 49ers then gave up 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick to move up to the number 3 spot to select Trey Lance. The 49ers were rumored at the time to be connected and interested in Mac Jones. They decided to go Lance. The Chicago Bears then later at 11 traded up to get Justin Fields. And then, of course, at number 15, the New England Patriots selected Mac Jones. It now looks like the Patriots outsmarted everyone by being patient and waiting for Jones to fall into their lap. We've got a new report out of San Francisco highlighting how fast Trey Lance has fallen. Miles, if you want to throw up the report from NBC Sports, I will read from it. All right, here we go. This is from NBC Sports. The battle to back up Brock Purdy has reportedly come to an end. NFL media reports that the 49ers will have Sam Darnold in the number 2 spot behind Purdy for the start of the regular season. Darnold signed with the team this offseason after ineffective runs as a starter with the Jets. I mean, seeing ghosts, right? This is Sam Darnold we're talking about here. And the Panthers. Darnold was competing with Trey Lance in a battle of former 3rd overall picks. Lance is in his 3rd year with the team, so he came into the competition with more experience in Kyle Shanahan's system. That didn't prove to be enough for him to position himself as the next man up for the defending NFC West champions, however. All right, one of the things you and I talk about all the time, Mize, is that sometimes it's not the moves you make, it's the moves you don't make. And the Patriots going into that draft, they were obviously, everyone was talking about iron quarterback. The Cam Newton experiment didn't work out. Who's going to be the future of the franchise? There was always potential rumors. Are they going to trade up? Who's going to fall into their lap? Everybody, myself included, was like, Mac Jones is perfect for Shanahan. He's perfect for what the 49ers want to do. When they traded up to number 3, I'm like, they're here to get Mac Jones. They didn't. They went all in on Trey Lance. That has been a total debacle for the San Francisco 49ers. And then when you factor in the fact that the Chicago Bears leapfrogged the New England Patriots later in the first round to select Justin Fields, who has a 5-20 record, 10 points lower passer rating than Mac Jones at this point in his career, about 8 percentage points lower completion percentage. By every statistical measure, Mac Jones has grossly outperformed Justin Fields. Look, I like Justin Fields. I think he's a fun athlete. I think he's going to be a special kind of player. Love his character, all that kind of stuff. But to this point, right now, looking at today, especially with the improvement Mac Jones has shown under Bill O'Brien, I think it's pretty obvious that the Patriots outsmarted pretty much everybody in terms of how they handled the 2021 draft, and it has set themselves up for long-term success.
Yeah, Nick, I think like you said, this was really, really great move and timing by the Patriots because there were a lot of quarterbacks in this draft, and they happen to have their eyes on the right one for their situation. Maybe does Justin Fields have more athletic ability than a guy like Mac Jones? Sure.
Maybe it's close, right?
Yeah,
It's close.
it's a coin toss. We'll just call it there. Is Trevor Lawrence looking really nice? Yes, but Trevor Lawrence was the 1st overall pick. To get a guy like Trevor Lawrence, you would have to give up more than the 49ers gave up to get Trey Lance. Probably looking at 4 first-round picks, something insane like that. Totally not worth the jump there. I think staying there and getting whoever fell to them because they knew they were in a good range to at least get somebody. I am sure they probably even felt better about their chances once the 49ers jumped up there to get a guy like Trey Lance. So, okay, well, now we definitely are going to get a guy that we like on our board. The Patriots are just always very patient, and they let the guy that they want fall to them. And I really like this move from them. And we also have another article about Patriots Mac Jones and just how good he is this year versus last year. He's looking leaps and bounds better, obviously being more comfortable with Bill O'Brien's system. I think he's looking really phenomenal. I'll read that one for you, Nick, and then we can discuss it here in a second. It says Patriot quarterback Mac Jones has been enjoying his work with new offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien, and one of Jones's defensive teammates said he's already seen a big difference in the quarterback. I just think overall he's a way better quarterback, Phillips said via Chris Mason of MassLive.com. He took last year on the chin. He'll be the first one to tell you that that's not how he wanted to play. And for all of us, that's not how any of us wanted to play. But he'll be the first to tell you that he's coming out here every single day and trying to light up our defense. Like literally light us up. I'm talking bombs, anything he can do. You just love to see that. He's always checking the play. He's always ready to give you something that you have to think about. I just think his confidence is through the roof right now. And that's kind of what we just said, Nick. He's more confident in this Bill O'Brien offense. I think Bill O'Brien is not confidence. It is competence in his offense. I think it's a much more competent scheme for Mac Jones. I just think this was really smart, and I think that it's paying dividends for Patriots fans now. What do you think about this?
Well, again, juxtapose this against all the other reports that you're seeing so far this offseason from the quarterbacks in the 2021 class. Trevor Lawrence, off to the side, but Trevor Lawrence also has to back it up. He had one terrible year, one really nice year. He's got a lot of weapons now. He's got to step up and actually deal with those expectations. We'll see how that goes. But you look at Wilson, right? Goes to the Jets, total bust, right? They had to bring in Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets had a great roster the last couple of years, no success. You look at the San Francisco 49ers, right? Right now, they're a good football team. Everything going on with Trey Lance, he's buried. He's probably going to get traded. The 49ers, I know they won a lot of games. I know they've made a lot of deep playoff runs. This is a team that should have at least won one Super Bowl over the past few seasons. But because of the assets they gave up for Trey Lance, number one, and their inability to take advantage of opportunities in the NFC, they're going to regret this. This is like Kyle Shanahan, right? He blew the 28-3 lead against the Patriots. Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers wasted the last few years of opportunities. I think the Trey Lance trade in the long term will really devastate their long-term prospects. And you look at the Chicago Bears, exciting young team. We'll see how it works out. But they were the worst team in football last season, right? And they weren't very good the year before that. They're not picked to be a top contender this season. I think they're going to be better. I don't think they're a playoff team, maybe a fringe playoff team if everything breaks right. And you go with the New England Patriots. The Patriots, everything was terrible last year. Offensive play calling and scheme was a disaster. Numerous injuries, brutal schedule, all those kind of things. And they are literally a Jacoby Myers disaster play away, or Nyheim Hines in the final game of the season not having the game of his life, or Ramondre Stevenson not fumbling in the red zone against the Bengals. If one of those three things happens, they're a playoff team. Right. This Patriots team is not getting enough credit. I've said it a number of times this offseason as we're getting ready for training camp, as we're getting for the regular season. This team is talented. A better offense, a Mac Jones returning to 2021 form. Honestly, they're right up there with the Dolphins and the Jets and the Buffalo Bills. I truly believe that. They're just as good because if you look at how they're structured, how the team is set up, it's structured differently, but it's set up smart. And that's exactly why the Patriots and Belichick deserve a lot of credit. They were patient. They waited for Mac Jones to fall into their lap. They didn't leapfrog for looking like a guy like Zach Wilson, who had a couple great throws out of his pro day, or Trey Lance, who was supposedly a physical phenom. Justin Fields, a lot of great physical tools. They were patient. They waited for the smart, savvy, good decision-making, accurate quarterback to fall in their lap. They took them, and they're in a much stronger position now than pretty much every single one of those teams, except maybe the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is an example of why the New England Patriots won Super Bowls for 20 years and why they're going to continue to be quality contenders in the NFL for years to come.